Imagine the magic of cinema, the dramatic flair of storytelling, and the unforgettable characters who steal our hearts. The power of two, the chemistry of iconic duos that transcend the silver screen. The thrill of a buddy cop film, the humor of twins in a magical world, the duality within one mind. Films like the live-action Barbie, Harry Potter, and Fight Club have given us some of the most memorable partnerships. It's a roller coaster ride, folks. We have detectives from Lethal Weapon, lovable toys from Toy Story, unlikely friends from The Shawshank Redemption, and even those lovable slackers Jay and Silent Bob. Such a diverse array. But wait, there's more. We got adventurous women on the run in Thelma and Louise, music-loving brothers on a mission in The Blues Brothers, and even 40-year-old stepbrothers with too much time on their hands. All these cinematic pairings have given us moments of joy, laughter, and sometimes, tears. But there's one duo that tops them all, a combination that's so unique, But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Stick around and you'll find out soon enough. Hey there, curiosity explorers. Ready for another dive into the unknown? I'm your guide, Caesar, and joining me as always is our brilliant commentator, Sonia.
Hi, folks. Exciting to be here with you all once again. It's going to be a wild ride today, I promise.
Absolutely, Sonia. And don't forget, folks, to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our daily deep dives. Your input is important to us, so don't hesitate to comment and share your thoughts. Let's explore together, shall we? So, let's delve into some of the specifics of these iconic duos. They have defined multiple genres and made a significant impact on pop culture. It's quite a diverse set. We've got everything from mischievous twins in a magical world to the contrasting personalities of a couple of Los Angeles detectives. There's a coming-of-age tale of a famous doll duo, comedic slackers, adventurous women on the run, music-loving brothers, and even a pair of middle-aged stepbrothers.
Absolutely. It's almost like a timeline of cinematic history. You can see how the dynamic of these duos has evolved over time. From the classics like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid to the more recent, like Barbie and Ken from the 2023 film.
That's a great point. The diversity and evolution of these duos highlight the creativity and adaptability of filmmakers. But as much as they change, these duos have one thing in common: the chemistry between the characters that makes for compelling narratives and unforgettable moments.
Yeah, the chemistry is key. Whether it's the camaraderie between Andy and Red in The Shawshank Redemption, or the hilarious interactions between Brennan Huff and Dale Doback in Step Brothers, it's the chemistry that makes these duos click.
Great observations. Now, this list also includes a few duos that we haven't discussed yet. Stick around, folks, because we've got some more iconic pairs to explore. From a pair of dim-witted best friends, to outlaws in love, and even a cannibal and an FBI agent, you won't want to miss it. Continuing with our list of iconic film duos, let's talk about the newest pair, Barbie and Ken. The film is set in Barbie Land, where life is a party until Barbie, played by Margot Robbie, experiences a growing disenchantment with the unrealistic ideals placed upon her. She embarks on a journey to the real world to seek answers. Things get complicated when Ken, played by Ryan Gosling, tags along and discovers the power of the patriarchy. Despite their differences, every moment they share on the big screen is pure magic, making them a definitive film duo.
Yes, their story is a mix of humor, adventure, and exploration of social issues, which definitely resonates with audiences. Moving from a modern tale to a classic, we have Fred and George Weasley from the Harry Potter series. These twins, played by James and Oliver Phelps, are known for their close sibling bond, endearing banter, and unyielding loyalty to their friends. From their first appearance to their daring exploits, they add much-needed levity to the series with their humor and bravery.
And let's not forget their establishment of Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, which showcased their ingenuity and entrepreneurial flair. Their legacy endures as an emblem of spirited companionship, making them an unforgettable duo in cinematic history. Now let's switch gears to a darker tale, Fight Club. The duo in this film is unique as the characters Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt, and the narrator, played by Edward Norton, are the same person. These two personalities exist on opposite ends of dissociative identity disorder, adding an extra layer of intrigue to their dynamic.
Definitely, it's a completely different kind of duo. The film explores the complexities of the human mind and societal pressure, taking us on a wild ride. It's a testament to the broad scope of cinematic duos, showcasing how diverse and impactful they can be. Looking forward to covering the rest of the list.
To continue with our exploration of iconic movie duos, let's talk about Riggs and Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon. They're one of the best-known pairs in buddy cop films. The wildly unstable Riggs and the traditional Murtaugh are polar opposites, which leads to some great moments between them. It reminds me of an event that happened recently. I was at a local coffee shop, and two police officers walked in. They couldn't have been more different. One was all business and the other was cracking jokes. Yet, they worked in perfect harmony.
That's so interesting. Coincidentally, I had a similar encounter at a grocery store. I saw two teachers from a local school. One of them was very methodical, sorting through vegetables meticulously, while the other was all over the place, having fun and engaging with the kids. It was a real-life example of how contrasting personalities can create a perfect duo.
Exactly. Back to the movies, we can't forget the animated duo Woody and Buzz from Toy Story. Voiced by Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, their relationship evolves from rivals to friends, much like many duos we see in real life. The dynamics between these characters have become iconic, spanning sequels, TV series, and a spin-off prequel.
Absolutely. Another duo that comes to mind is Andy and Red from The Shawshank Redemption. A story of resilience and hope, it's one of those films that stays with you. These two characters, despite their circumstances, manage to form a bond that reflects the power of friendship.
That's a beautiful film indeed. The way these duos deal with their respective challenges makes them iconic and memorable, just like the real-life duos we encounter every day. Let's continue to explore the rest of the list. We have much more to cover. Continuing with our exploration, The Shawshank Redemption is a film that truly highlights the power of friendship. It's the bond between Andy Dufresne and Ellis Red Redding that makes this film a timeless classic. Their camaraderie shows us that even in the darkest of times, friendship can be a beacon of hope.
Absolutely. On a lighter note, we have the hilarious duo of Jay and Silent Bob from Kevin Smith's Viewisk universe. They made their debut in the indie film Clerks back in 1994 and have since been featured in several films, providing endless streams of laughs. They're like modern-day Cheech and Chong, sharing a love of music, women, and marijuana.
Right, Jay and Silent Bob are the epitome of comedic duos. Now, let's shift towards a trailblazing duo, Thelma and Louise. Played by Susan Sarandon and Geena Davis, these characters showed Hollywood that women could also be badass criminals on the run. The film was a mix of comedy, drama, and romance, all wrapped up in a Bonnie and Clyde-style adventure.
It was indeed a trailblazer. With 6 Academy Award nominations, including Best Actress nods for both Sarandon and Davis, Thelma and Louise is a testament to the power of a well-crafted and well-acted duo. Let's carry on with our list. I'm excited to see who else is up there.
Picking up from where we left off, we've got another iconic duo in Elwood and Jake Blues from The Blues Brothers. This music-infused action comedy gave us two music-loving characters, portrayed by the late John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. They set out on a mission from God to save the Catholic orphanage where they grew up from foreclosure. This film is full of action, comedy, and music, making it a classic in its own right.
Absolutely, and the hilarious on-screen interactions of John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd are definitely worth a mention. But let's not forget Brennan Huff and Dale Doback from Step Brothers. This comedy film about two immature 40-year-olds forced to live together as brothers after their parents marry showcases Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly's comedic chops.
That's right, and their line, "Did we just become best friends?" Yep, is classic. Now, we can't forget the goofy and memorable duo of Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. This comedy classic, written and directed by the Farrelly brothers, gave us unforgettable one-liners and slapstick humor that's still referenced today.
Absolutely. The quotable antics of Lloyd, a goofy limo driver, and Harry, a dim-witted dog groomer, have certainly cemented their place in comedy history. Their story is a testament to the power of friendship, no matter how misguided their adventures might be. I wonder who we have next on the list.
Taking us further down the list, we have the iconic Bonnie and Clyde from the groundbreaking 1967 film. Their real-life story of bank robberies during the Great Depression broke many cinematic taboos with its depiction of sex and extreme violence, making it especially popular with younger audiences.
Indeed, it's a tale that's been retold countless times, even inspiring the 2019 film The Highwayman. The film's blend of comedic, romantic, and violent tones was unique, and it established Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway as household names.
And let's not forget the unconventional yet memorable duo of Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling from The Silence of the Lambs. Released in 1991, the film gave us a chilling performance by Anthony Hopkins as the deadly Dr. Hannibal Lecter, and Jodie Foster as the resilient FBI trainee, Clarice Starling.
Absolutely. While Lecter may not be the film's main antagonist, his relationship with Clarice and their team effort to capture the serial killer known as Buffalo Bill make them one of the most unique duos in film history. What's next on our list?
Moving on, we have the time-traveling duo of Doc Brown and Marty McFly from Back to the Future. The unlikely pairing of a teenager and an eccentric inventor using a modified DeLorean to travel through time is a hit among movie fans of all generations.
And they truly do make time travel seem like the ultimate adventure. But I can't help wondering, what if Eric Stoltz had kept the lead role instead of Michael J. Fox?
It really is hard to imagine anyone else in those roles. Their chemistry is part of what makes the trilogy so enduring. Now, let's take a step back in time to the late 1890s with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
The classic Western starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford. Despite mixed reviews initially, it's considered one of the greatest films of all time now, isn't it?
Exactly, it went on to become the top-grossing film of 1969 and solidified Newman and Redford as a formidable on-screen duo. But let's shift gears to a different genre with Jules and Vincent from Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction.
Oh, the iconic crime film. The unconventional storytelling and excellent dialogue is what makes it stand out, right?
Absolutely. It's famous for its non-linear storytelling and memorable characters, especially the duo of Jules and Vincent. The film's success helped cement Tarantino's reputation as a brilliant director. Continuing, we encounter a pair of quirky hitmen, Jules and Vincent, from Pulp Fiction. The characters are a study in contrasts, with the suave, soft-spoken Vincent and the aggressive Jules, who quotes the Bible before committing acts of violence.
It's quite fascinating how their contrasting styles mesh so well together. It's probably one of the reasons why they are responsible for some of the most iconic scenes in Tarantino's oeuvre.
Absolutely. Now, let's move on to a completely different genre and era with Cheech and Chong, who found fame in the 70s. With their stand-up routines and skits, based on the hippie and free love movement, they won a Grammy for Best Comedy Album.
I remember them. Their "Dave's Not Here" bit from Up in Smoke always cracks me up. They quite literally made a career out of their passion for cannabis.
They certainly did. And finally, we come to one of the most iconic duos in the comic book world, Batman and Robin, the archetype of crime-fighting teams. They first appeared in DC Comics but made their big screen debut in 1966 with Batman, the movie.
The dynamic duo. The roles of Batman and Robin have been played by many different actors, but most fans can't help thinking of Adam West and Dick Ward when they hear those names. Right?
As we approach the end of our list, we turn our eyes to the stars with Captain Kirk and Spock from Star Trek. The charismatic and headstrong Kirk and the logical Spock, although polar opposites, made for an unforgettable duo as they travel through time, space, and alternate realities.
Just like William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, the original actors will forever remain etched in our memory as Kirk and Spock.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of unforgettable duos in a galaxy far, far away, we have none other than Han Solo and Chewbacca from Star Wars. This pair, inseparable since their first introduction in 1977, embarked on many an intergalactic adventure aboard the Millennium Falcon.
Han's death in The Force Awakens was quite a shock. It's hard to imagine one without the other.
Indeed, it was a heartbreaking moment for fans around the world. But their enduring camaraderie and iconic status in the franchise make them the perfect candidates for their own spin-off, which of course, they got with Solo, a Star Wars story. Their story certainly adds depth to the rich tapestry of duos in cinematic history. So there we have it, folks. A delightful journey through the world of cinema, exploring the magic of iconic duos. From Barbie and Ken's plastic romance to the heartwarming camaraderie of Woody and Buzz, to the exhilarating intergalactic journeys of Kirk and Spock, and the inseparable bonds of Han Solo and Chewbacca. It's safe to say, two is indeed company.
Absolutely, and a mighty entertaining company at that. We want to thank you all for joining us on this cinematic journey. Please remember to blast that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this episode with your movie-loving friends.
That's right. And, as always, we're grateful for your company on this journey. So until next time, keep the popcorn popping and the films rolling.
Goodbye, everyone. And remember, no movie is complete without a great duo.
This deep dive into cinema's most iconic duos sourced from an article titled 20 of the Most Iconic Duos in Movie History, penned by Charles Rogers on the HowStuffWorks site, dated August 30, 2023. If you wish to further explore, the full URL is in our episode description. Now, it's time for me to sign off.